All right, man. What'd you just do?
I got second place at Toy Regional with pure Melodious. So just getting into the deck right away. It was a pretty standard deck. Not much to say at the beginning. So I have 3 refrain, 3 couplet, 2 soprano, 2 sonata, 1 canon, and 1 chapina. All the ratios were really standard. These main deck, it felt perfect. I never wanted more or less of any of these main deck monsters. So going forward, I definitely would not change this. I also played the Aria to prevent from targeting. This is how you push through Snake Eye boards with ease. The 3 ostinato, 3 first movement, 3 prosperities. These are like the 3 quote-unquote starters for the Spellwise. This not being once per turn kind of came up in the last round. The Tenpai player had to pick it up and read it and say, oh, it's not once per turn. So that was fun for me, but all these spells, you have to max out played at 3. I don't like Desires because it runs the risk of just banishing your 1-ofs and then you're just like, oh wow, now I can't play. I played 1 Called By, and something that most lists didn't play were 2 Concerto. I think you have to play 2 because Prosperity being one of your starters prevents you from drawing. So if you don't have a way to recycle your Concerto and they break your board, now on turn 2, the only way for you to trigger this in your graveyard is by linking off your fusions. So it's just better just to be able to use your couplet and search the second one and then not have to worry about only having the 1 Concerto in your graveyard. Plus it plays around getting it crowed, banished if you can't put it back with Prosperity if you draw. Next, for the traps, which is why this deck is really good. 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Veiler, 3 Ogre, and then 3 Orange Light. All these were super good. Actually I want to play Crow, but my friend convinced me to play Ghost Ogre. It actually was really, really good for me yesterday, so I'm glad I did.
Sounds like it was a smart decision.
Yeah, I gave him advice last week, and I told him not to play. I told him to play DD Crow, and he won the regional. And he told me this week to play Ghost Ogre, and I listened to him, and now I got second. So it worked out really well. The main deck was really solid. I don't think I would change anything going forward. Yeah, the main deck was super, super solid. For the extra deck, I played 3 Baka, and then kind of like a Baka 2.0. So if you do just ostinato and you put this guy in your EMZ, if this gets Imperm or Veiler, you still have a way to play by just linking off Gravity Controller. It came up one time where I had to do that just to actually make the board, so I'm glad I played this. So yeah, going forward, and then I also just played 2 Etoile, standard, 2 Schuberta, 1 Diva, and 1 of the Link 2s. I did play this guy, but I'm going to talk about him in a second. All of this was super standard. This is, you only need out 1. You can just recycle everything back with the Soprano or Chapina. And the Diva comes up in case you wanted to prevent yourself from dying after they droplet your board. So you special this when they out your Etoile, and now you just have like another layer of protection. It also is good against tower monsters. There was a time where I played a Purely and they had like 7 or 8 mats and I just couldn't out it. So this let me slowly inflict battle damage using the effect. So this card is really, really good as like a backup plan. This card, however, I never once summoned it and I never once wanted to summon it. The only thing I ever did with this the whole tournament was banish it face down off Prosperity as my first one every time. So I definitely would cut this, but I don't want to say what for. I'll leave that as like a surprise to the end. And then I have Baguska, Lizardos, SP, and Typhon. This I never summoned, but all of these other ones came up in their own niche situations. The Typhon actually won me the last round because I was able to evenly clear his board, and then I just normal summoned this, normal summoned a guy, overlaid for this, bounced his Hope Harbinger. He couldn't trigger the Flamberge, so he didn't really have a lot of follow-up, and then I just won the next turn. So this card came up, and then going into the side deck, I sided 3 DD Crow. This card is a mandatory to side in my opinion because it's really good against Puppet Locks, it's good against Voiceless, and you can't afford to play the Bystials because then your Melodious cards are dead. So DD Crow's standard. 3 Cosmic to play around back row decks as well as Duster. 3 D Barrier because this card is broken. 1 Rivalry, which I never sided in because the one time I was going first after game 1, he was playing a mono type deck, but in theory this card is really, really good. And then I played 3 Evenly and 1 Tam Tam. The even leads I sided in once last round. I'm still 50-50. Maybe I would cut this for something else. And then Tam Tam you have to play just in case you get to the end of the game and you want to search a poly and then just continue your combo that way. So it's important to side the Tam Tam.
Right, yep.
Yeah, so that was the list. It was pretty standard. Yeah, I guess just shout out Fruccio. He was my testing partner. He helped me make my deck choices. And then shout out to Adam as well. He convinced me to pick up the Melodious cards from bulk that someone of my locals was giving away. So I didn't even want the deck, but I grabbed it and then I got second place with it. So yeah, there's some changes, but I'm going to keep those after we have our YCS Indy next week. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, man. Well, congratulations again on the top.
Thank you. Thank you.